So this first lesson today is drawing setup on Vectorworks. Today I'm going to be showing you how to set up your drawing in the 11 by 17 format in the landscape position, as well as setting your units, your grid, and your scale. First thing we want to do is take our selection tool and then go File, Page Setup. When we get the page setup, we want to click on Printer Setup button. Do not touch anything on this first screen. It's very important that this always stays 1 and vertical stays 1. We're going to click on Printer Setup, and you're going to choose the HS102 HPLJ9050. For purposes today, I'm simply going to click on the HS102 Design Jet, which is all we have available right now. And we're going to take our paper size and turn it to 11 by 17. We're going to put it into landscape and hit OK. This is the printable area. Don't worry that it's only 16.6 and 9.95. That's fine. That's the way it's supposed to be. We hit OK. And at this time, you'll see that our paper is now changed in size and it's in the landscape position. The next thing that we want to do is to set our units. To set the units, we're going to go File, Document Settings, and we're going to go over to Units. So for units, we're going to, where it says Length Units, we have the choice to use many different methods of measuring. We're going to choose feet and inches. There are times when you might need to use feet or miles or millimeters and centimeters. For most purposes, we're going to choose feet and inches. Rounding style is always going to be fractional. Decimal rounding precision is fractional, and we're going to bring it to ½ inch. For architecture purposes, ½ inch is fine. And that's the only thing we're going to change on this screen. We're going to hit OK. And that's how we're going to set up our units. The next thing that we want to do is set the grid. To set the grid, that's these light blue lines going across. We want to set them so that they're 1 foot increments. And we're going to do that by going up to Tools. We're going to go down to where it says Smart Cursor Settings. Hit OK. And we're going to go to where it says Grid. Where it says Snap Grid, we're going to set this at 1 inch. That means that when you're drawing lines and rectangles, that it's going to snap to 1 inch increments. Where it says Reference Grid, we're going to set this at 12 inches. Remember that we're going to be setting our scale to 12 inches equal a quarter of an inch, so that the grid will actually be a quarter inch, similar to your grid paper that you use in class. You can see now that we have a large grid, and that's because we haven't set our scale yet. So to set our scale, we're going to go right up to underneath the text button. There's a little stack of paper right here. We're actually going to click on that. Now you can see your layer. We're going to actually edit this. At this point, you can change the name to whatever you want it to be. If you're doing a floor plan, you can call it Floor Plan, or whatever you want to call it. The next button is Scale. We're going to click on Scale. We're going to go over to where it says Imperial, 1/4 of an inch. And we hit OK. Stacking order, elevation, these other things right here don't matter at this point. They'll be later in the year we'll change these, but for right now we simply want to change the name and the scale. And I hit OK. I hit OK again to get out of this. And you'll see that our grid is now 1/4 of an inch. 1/4 of an inch equals a foot. And that's it. We're now ready to start drawing. If I take a line and I draw, you can see that it's going to ½ inch. That's because we set our decimal precision at ½ inch. Each little block is a foot. You can see that, how that works. So I can draw a line to 7 feet, and it fits nicely on the paper. So that's your first lesson, how to set up your drawing paper. I hope this is helpful.